You've been told effort scales. Work harder, work longer, increase output. The logic feels simple. More hours should mean more income. More energy should mean more growth. More discipline should mean more wealth. And to a point, it works. You can increase productivity. You can add side income. You can extend your working window. But effort expands linearly. You have a ceiling: biological, cognitive, temporal. You cannot double your hours indefinitely. You cannot compound your energy. You cannot outsource your own exhaustion. Even high performers hit constraints. Sleep is required. Attention degrades. Stress accumulates. The body enforces limits. Effort can grow from 8 hours to 10, from 10 to 12, from one income stream to two. But each increase requires additional presence, additional input, additional depletion. You can scale effort, but you must always scale yourself with it. And that is the constraint. Now compare that to structure, a business system, an automated platform, an asset that appreciates. Structure does not fatigue. Structure does not sleep. Structure does not negotiate with energy. Effort expands with strain. Structure expands with demand. An employee can only serve one shift at a time. A system can process thousands of transactions simultaneously. A person can sell 1 hour once. Software can sell access repeatedly. This is the illusion. You believe increasing output increases scale. But increasing output only increases income within your constraints. True scale requires independence from your presence. If revenue stops when you stop, you have growth, not scale. Scale is when revenue expands without proportional increase in your input. Effort can improve position. Structure can multiply position. And most people optimize for improvement, not multiplication. This is not a moral judgment, it is a mechanical distinction. Effort grows in increments. Structure grows in layers. If you work twice as long, you may earn twice as much. If a system doubles in users, revenue can grow exponentially. One requires exhaustion. The other requires architecture. You are taught to scale yourself. Rarely are you taught to scale systems. And scaling yourself has a limit. Your output is tied to your capacity. Time, energy, focus. There are 24 hours in a day. You can extend productivity. You can compress leisure. You can sacrifice rest. But you cannot manufacture additional time. Every increase in effort carries a cost. More hours reduce recovery. More pressure reduces clarity. More responsibility increases cognitive load. The body absorbs the bill. Even if income rises, the strain rises with it. Effort scales with stress. At a certain threshold, diminishing returns begin. Fatigue reduces decision quality. Decision quality reduces performance. Performance caps income. Your biology enforces equilibrium. Now, contrast that with structure. A system is not constrained by sleep cycles. A digital platform does not lose focus. An automated process does not experience burnout. It responds to demand, not exhaustion. If demand doubles, a well-built system can scale capacity. If users increase, software can replicate at marginal cost. Replication is not depletion. Effort is additive. Structure is multiplicative. When you add effort, you add output. When you expand structure, you multiply output. You can work 20% harder. A scalable system can grow 200% without adding people. One strains, the other expands. This is why high performers still plateau. They optimize within their limits. They refine schedules, increase efficiency, outperform peers. But they remain bounded by biology. Structure does not share that boundary. A factory line can add shifts. A software product can add users globally. Capital can deploy across multiple assets simultaneously. No fatigue, no cognitive ceiling. Even capital compounds without requiring new labor. Returns generate new purchasing power. New purchasing power generates new returns. This loop does not require additional human stamina. When you rely exclusively on effort, growth is tethered to presence. When you rely on structure, growth can detach from presence. Detachment is scale. You can increase income by increasing output, but you cannot increase output infinitely. Structure can increase throughput with replication. Replication has lower marginal cost than exhaustion. This is the constraint most people ignore. They attempt to outwork exponential systems with linear tools. And linear tools cannot outrun multiplicative structures. Effort improves position. Structure changes trajectory. One moves you forward, the other accelerates you. Most content talks at you. This one sits with you. If that difference stood out, if this felt real instead of loud, like the video, subscribe. This channel is built for people who notice patterns. Leverage is what converts effort into scale. Without leverage, effort remains effort. Leverage means your input is no longer proportional to output. It means one decision produces repeated results. It means one allocation generates continuous returns. Ownership is the simplest form of leverage. When you own equity, you benefit from growth you did not personally execute. If revenue increases, your stake increases. If valuation rises, your net worth rises. You are no longer scaling yourself. You are scaling a structure. A business with systems can serve customers without your constant involvement. Software can process transactions globally while you sleep. Capital invested in productive assets compounds without supervision. That is leverage. Leverage separates input from output. Effort requires proportional input. Leverage decouples them. If you work twice as long, you may earn twice as much. If a scalable asset doubles in demand, income may grow exponentially. The difference is replication. Your time cannot replicate itself. A system can. Your energy is finite. Capital deployed correctly can be redeployed repeatedly. Even hiring is leverage. One person's output becomes multiplied across a team. But equity is deeper leverage because it multiplies results without multiplying your labor. Ownership allows you to benefit from systems that operate independently of your hours. Effort trades time. Leverage trades position. Effort requires presence. Leverage rewards structure. Most people chase higher income. Few prioritize scalable ownership. Income increases cash flow. Ownership increases velocity. Velocity matters because it compounds. Returns generate new capital. New capital acquires additional assets. Additional assets generate more returns. The loop sustains itself. This is why scalable systems dominate industries, not because they work harder, because they multiply faster. And multiplication outpaces addition over time. You can optimize your schedule, you can maximize productivity, you can increase efficiency. But without leverage, your ceiling remains biological. With leverage, your ceiling becomes structural. Structural ceilings are higher because they are not tied to stamina. Effort builds foundation. Leverage builds expansion. And expansion is what actually scales. If effort has limits and structure does not, then the question is not how hard you work, it is what you are building. Most people optimize performance. Very few optimize architecture. You can increase income. You can refine skill. You can negotiate better compensation. But if income remains tied to your hours, your growth remains tied to your biology. Real scale begins when output detaches from presence, when revenue continues without proportional effort, when systems produce in your absence. That detachment is not accidental. It is designed. You design leverage through ownership, through equity, through assets that generate returns independent of your daily input. It does not happen automatically. It requires allocation. Small stakes in scalable structures compound. Ownership in productive businesses compounds. Capital deployed into appreciating assets compounds. Compounding does not require overtime. It requires time. Effort builds income. Income can build assets. Assets build scale. The transition from effort to structure is the pivot point. Many people stop at income. They increase earning power. They improve lifestyle. They optimize activity. But activity is not scale. Ownership is. You can be highly productive and still capped. You can be moderately positioned and uncapped. Scale favors architecture over stamina. This does not mean effort is irrelevant. Effort is the ignition. Structure is the engine. Ignition starts movement. Engine sustains acceleration. If your financial life depends entirely on your output, you are scaling effort. If part of your financial life compounds without you, you are building structure. And structure is what actually scales. The system rewards leverage, not exhaustion. Positioning, not intensity. Because intensity fades, architecture endures. If this shifted how you think about growth, subscribe. Like this if it clarified something. We don't chase productivity. We study scale. Because scale compounds.